Hey, it's your boy, Sergeant Hooked on Heroes, hitting you with the review/recap for Ultraman Blazar, Episode 1. Definitely become a giant Ultraman fan as I've talked about Ultraman Z English dub recently finished leading up to the premiere of Ultraman Blazar. Ultraman Blazar also getting an English dub with the likes of Johnny Youngbosch. He's known for his role as, Adam Park in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which is the second Mighty Morphin Black Ranger. Also Zero Ranger 4 Green, also Turbo Green, and just an all-around badass. Probably second to, JDF, RIP, in terms of overall legendary status. Also a well-known voice actor. He is, of course, the voice of Vash the Stampede, Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach, and also Nero from the Devil May Cry franchise. So definitely got some pedigree in terms of what he does, and it's cool to get a big name like him to be voicing the main character for Blazar. But I'm really excited. Like I said, I really enjoyed episode 1. I want to get into the details in a minute. But like I said, loved the Z English dub. Really opened my eyes that an English dub can work. And I'm definitely an Ultraman fan now. I don't know if I'm going to buy any of the merch really because I don't really have a lot of room. But I might at least buy a few seasons here and there just to kind of support it. But in general, I'm really excited. And I love how easily accessible all of it is on their YouTube channel, completely for free. English subtitles, Japanese audio, or just the English audio if you want it. Which is the way that I watched Blazar Episode 1. Gotta say, fucking loved it as a premiere. I know I'm very new, very green behind the, wet behind the ears in terms of an Ultra fan. But it was a really fun experience, Episode 1. I really enjoyed it. I love getting the perspective of the military group, now called Scarred, I think, and their fight against Bazanga, which is this new kaiju that is like a crustacean type alien that's got these claws and it's really impervious to most damage. And I like that most of the episode time is taken up, runtime is taken up by them kind of struggling to be able to defeat this monster. Sorry, there's a weird bird outside that sounded very weird, very scary, honestly. So most of the runtime is taken up with them trying to fight this monster, and I think that was really cool to see that, the ground fights and them in the air with their little jetpack things, shooting their missiles and stuff. Gento is an awesome Ultra host. I really enjoy that. If I'm getting that right, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, if that's not a term you guys use. Again, I'm very new to this because I've just started getting into Ultraman. I've been a Rider and Sentai fan for years and years and years. First time I've really watched Ultraman new like this. Again, just really gotta say, Tsuburaya is blowing the fucking entirety of Tokusatsu, other than itself, out of the fucking water in terms of access to it. Are you kidding me? The entirely newest season available, English dub, no strings attached to it at all. Can you imagine if they did that with Geats or something like that, or Gotchard? They'd be fucking swimming in money. But anyway, so Gento is awesome, and I like Johnny Youngbosch's take on the character. It's really cool because there's definitely little things that sound like some of his other characters, a little bit of Ichigo in there, a little bit of Nero, stuff like that. But it's very different. He very much so is really playing into this older, grizzled kind of character of Gento, who is this well-known within Scarred military guy who is great on the battlefield, always has a plan. He does this little thing where he puts his fingers to his head and he has this little trance he goes into trying to and we see it later where he zoom into his head, this brain blast thing of what he thinks about and what he sees. He's analyzing the situation. If I do this, this, and this will happen. So what if we try this? And so he tries that multiple times the episode to fight off Bazanga, and it's just not working until he gets the Blazar brace, and we'll get there. But I really like that. I love seeing Bazanga destroying shit and messing up the city. The whole use of the miniatures again is really cool. The effects, it really felt like watching a movie. The way it was shot, and it was all at nighttime, was really cool. The cinematography, outstanding. But I really gotta give them props for the Blazar brace and how it comes to be, because in most Tokusatsu, usually they just all of a sudden intrinsically know how to do the stuff, right? The pose, the transformation, whatever it is. But in this, it's not like that. Gento's just hanging out with his bros, with his soldier bros, and one of them gets hurt and he's kind of helping him out. All of a sudden, to his wrist, and he's what the fuck is this shit? And it zaps his hand and creates the little metal he needed to insert, and he's sitting there looking at it what the fuck is going on? And it just sends out a beam of electricity to his hand and pulls it to the brace and puts it in, and then pushes his hand to tap it to transform him to Ultra Rise into Blazar for the first time. I love Blazar's design. I know I'm very new to Ultraman, but I think it's a very fresh take on what an Ultraman design is. I like that it's a very primal, primordial, bestial kind of look, almost monkey-like in a way. The colors are really cool. I like how imperfect and like unfinished it looks almost. It's really cool. It still screams heroic to me, but it doesn't necessarily scream it in the same way that like the Zet design does, or Trigger, or Decker. It's very different, and I like that. And I think that's purposeful. Super Rai has come out and talked about how this is supposed to be, this is an Ultra from the heart of a Blazar star, basically. And that he's very, like, first, primal, like, not as, like, you know, well-spoken as, I'm ultra sorry about this, you know. Yeah, so I really like that. The juxtaposition between the English dub of Zet as opposed to this, in terms of the characters and everything, and how Blazar is very primal, monkey-like, very, you know, compared to Zet, is really cool. I love his fighting style. His, like, going up, the first thing he does when he sees Bazanga is he goes and, like, climbs up the building, holds onto the side, like he's hanging off with his arm like this. He just jumps off like a monkey and grabs onto him. Lots of really just down and dirty, gritty, guerrilla tactics. At one point, he rips my man Bazanga's arm off and uses it to beat the shit out of him with. That was pretty cool. Some blood even with that. That was pretty awesome. Really like the fight sequence with it. Again, while it's happening, still the military people are still doing things and helping, fighting. There's even a focus on some kind of a female character. I didn't catch her name. And she shoots a missile, I think, at Bazanga's eye or somewhere around there that, like, takes him off for a second. And then it gives Blazar the chance to counterattack. I really like the final attack little thing. Instead of doing like the little, you know, specium beam thing, he pulls up his arm like this. You see the Blazar brace, like little black hole thingy energy here, and he pulls out of it, out of like a subspace thing, basically a like spear of lightning, basically, and like fucking chucks it through like Bazanga's chest and kills him. It was fucking metal as hell. I loved it. I really love his fighting style. I also like his grunts. Ultraman grunts have always been very goofy to me, where there's like, oh, yeah, yeah. It sounds like Giant Link, almost. And Blazar does not fucking disappoint. My man is out there like, fucking gorilla. Just love it. Especially with juxtaposed, like I said, to Zet, who's like, you know, shoot, watch, and, you know, let's go, and all that, you know. Haruki, that's his name. Goodness, I'm an idiot. As a, you know, Haruki, access granted, and then it got this where it's like, you know, Blazar and just fucking transforms, like, blah, 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 blah. But I really like it. I think it's really cool. I think it's a really nice, different kind of take on an Ultraman as far as what I've seen. I do plan on watching more seasons. I might, as far as anything physical, I probably will start, like, maybe buying some of the series just to own them, because I think it's a cool part of history to own some of them. But overall, Blazar's debut episode was pretty good. I'm definitely hooked. I don't know for sure. I'm not going to promise that I'm going to do episode by episode reviews. I might do chunks, especially because the last few seasons have been about 25-ish episodes or so. So if that's the case, I may do episode by episode, or I might do chunks, like every 5 to 10 episodes, something like that. Or just wait till the end and do an overall series review. Let people know how I feel about it. But I'm definitely excited to add more content like this to the channel. Kind of expand out and talk about some more things. As far as a score for the episode, probably give it a strong 9 out of 10. I did enjoy it. I think it was really good. And I liked the focus on the human characters in the military fighting the monster. But I do kind of wish that the episode's like 31 minutes long, and I feel like a lot of it is that and not as long on Blazar as I was hoping for. So I'm hoping for a bit more on him, and next episode seems to be doing a bit more with that and just kind of building this scarred kaiju team, you know, anti-kaiju team. But I have a lot of questions too, like why did the brace go to Gento? How did it appear there? Where did it come from? Can Blazar speak in a discerned voice, or is he really that primal? Is he going to learn to speak in any way? Is Gento going to like ever lose control because Blazar is so, you know, bestial and vicious and feral? Is he going to like ever lose control and like, you know, hurt somebody? Lots of questions and really interesting things that come up when you think about like the possibilities for the series. But I'm quite ultra interested in Blazar. Definitely going to keep up on it week to week, watching it at least. Like I said, reviews probably going to wait, you know, either to the end or maybe like every 10 episodes or something like that. As far as content this week, this review also quite a bit of content this week. This one, I did just get my copy of Shin Ultraman on Blu-ray in the mail. I am going to watch the English dub of it. I've heard the subtitles are garbage in English, don't worry. And also the Geats 43 review, so I'll have that up as soon as I can as well. And not this week as a recording, but next week we will have our guest on, the host of the Mostly Speaking Sentai podcast, Podcastception. And they'll be talking about our topic, which is going to be the enduring legacy of Super Sentai, and also our favorite Sixth Rangers. So definitely look out for that on the Henshins and Homies podcast. And again, thank you guys so much for the love and support there, following us, subscribing, sharing, commenting, liking, all that good stuff. Also listening to us as just normal audio podcast, which I'm sure is a wild trip with how visual we are with things on that show. And again, thank you so much for the love and the support here on this channel. I really appreciate it. It's really special to me to have this place where I can come and kind of just blurt out and vomit all these things of how I feel about these different shows. Again, not so sure there's going to be episode by episode reviews for Blazar, because I know I said I was stopping on the King Oger ones for a while, and I may still do that. I haven't fully decided. But if anything, either at the very least, I will do an entire series review. At the most, maybe I'll do chunks, like the first 10, the last 5, depending on if there is 25 episodes. Haven't decided yet. But let me know in the comments below. What you guys think of Ultraman Blazar Episode 1? Love it? Hate it? In the middle? What do you think about his design? His monkey-type fighting style and goofiness to him? Yeah, how do you feel about Johnny Young Bosch, finally getting to voice an Ultra role, But definitely really excited to hear you guys comment, see what you guys have to think about it. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing today. I'm Sergeant Hooked on Heroes, talk about all things tokusatsu, maybe Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Ultraman, Power Rangers. I've also dabbled a bit into Marvel content and Star Wars and Digimon content as well. I'm currently watching the Secret Invasion series, and I'm going to be keeping up on that. I'm probably going to do an overall series review. It's only 6 episodes. But yeah, so thank you so much for everything, supporting me, all that good stuff. But as always, stay hooked on heroes. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.